Hi everybody and welcome to today's video. My name is Matt and this is What Matters to Matt. And on today's video, I do want to talk about why sign up for a race that you know you can't win. Now, to be perfectly honest, most of you out there that are watching this video, unless you're the Kipchogis of the world,
he has less than 200 meters to go.
The elite athletes of the world, when you sign up for a race, I think you already know in advance that there's a solid chance that you're not going to win that race. But what actually kind of brought up this video, or what made me want to think of this video or make this video with you and share this with you is A, I just want to share with you everything that I'm going through in my running journey, but B, just about 3 weeks ago, this race kept coming up in my local area. It's called the Not The Honolulu. Now I live in Eastern Canada and it's in December, and this race is basically just running a half marathon through a campground, and there's just a handful of runners that are going to be doing it. So as you can imagine, not the Honolulu. But before I signed up for this race, I found myself messaging somebody local that's been on the running scene for a number of years and asking them if they could take a look at who was actually in this race and let me know whether they thought I would stand out as being somebody who's incredibly slow. And before they actually got back to me, I just decided, you know what? We're gonna run this race, we're gonna sign up for it, and we're just gonna have some fun. So today, I just wanna give you a few reasons why you might wanna sign up for a race that you know you can't win, or that you know you have no chance whatsoever to winning. And I'm gonna put this into two categories. One category is the it, let's just run category, and the other category is, but I really, really wanna get better at my running and improve myself over time category. But first we're gonna talk about the let's just run category. So the number one reason in this category is that there is no better time than now. Now, if you follow my channel, you've probably heard me talk about my kids in several of my videos, but this kind of reminds me of when I was thinking about having children, or when my wife and I were thinking about having kids. We got this advice on several different occasions that there is no better time to have children than now. You're never going to be totally prepared. The same thing is true for running. If you live in the present moment and you just think about, I'm not ready to sign up, or I'm not ready to run a race, you're never going to sign up or run a race. What you have to do is just take the leap. There's no better time than now to sign up for that next big goal race. And the second one is pain is only temporary.
I'm prepared to make that sacrifice.
Now, when you're running that race, when you're pushing yourself to the limits, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, ultra, doesn't really matter. Ultimately, it can be a little or a lot painful, but pain is only temporary. Eventually, that sense of pride and sense of accomplishment that you feel sinks in pretty quick. And to be perfectly honest with you, for me, that sank in just seconds after crossing that finish line of running my first marathon. It's amazing how quickly the pain turns into pride and a sense of accomplishment. All right, so we've reached that point in the video that I ask you, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of really, really solid running content coming up, and I really get motivated by seeing more and more people want to share with me in this running journey. And the third one in this category is the ability to eat more. Now, this is a little bit of a slippery slope, and I remember when I was training for that first marathon, I put out this video where I was talking about losing some weight to be able to run a little bit faster, and I had gotten a couple of private messages from different people that were maybe a little bit concerned, saying that if you're training for a marathon, it's not the time to be focusing on trying to lose weight. If you're training for a marathon, you need to make sure that you're properly fueling for your training and for that race. And I get that. And that's not necessarily the point of this. The point of this, the ability to eat more, eat kind of whatever you want, is you can check lots of those boxes off in terms of getting the proper amount of carbs and protein and vegetables, micro and macronutrients and all that stuff, and still have quite a bit of wiggle room if you want to eat just the occasional or semi-occasional or every other day treat, and fit that into your total calories and not really have to worry about where those extra calories are going to go, because you're burning off so much. It's sort of a license to eat junk. That's it. Now the next one is simply just making new friends.
Did we just become best friends? Yup! Do you want to go do karate in the garage? Yup!
Now, to give you a little bit of a context for me, I grew up in this area. I actually haven't moved that far away from where I grew up, just about half an hour outside of the city that I live in now. But I knew there was a running community around here, but I just didn't realize how tight-knit that community was and how welcoming that community was to new people. But when you're signing up for races and you're joining different running groups and you're going on different training sessions with these different groups, you just get this sense of a community around you, and you make lifelong friends, or what I hope will be lifelong friends that have similar interest in being healthy and training for races like I am. And the last one in this category is new running gear. Now look, one of the biggest motivators I have to logging lots of miles during my marathon training is that eventually, when I log enough miles in a shoe, that sort of justifies, maybe not to my wife, but justifies at least to me, that I should be going out and shopping for a new pair of shoes. And the second category that I want to talk about today is ultimately because I want to be a stronger, faster, better runner. And the first point in that category is the long-term goals. Now, my long-term goal, like so many other runners, is to qualify for the Boston Marathon. I know that's at least a couple years out, but gaining that experience from running different races and just getting used to that whole race scenario and what it's like actually running in different races is going to help me get closer and closer to achieving those goals of ultimately running in Boston. Number two is something to focus and motivate you in your training. Now, some people out there, they love running to a point where they say that every single day they want to get up and run. Now, when I'm in a big training block, when I'm actually focused on training for a marathon, one of the biggest motivators that I have is that actual race, that race that I have paid my money for and that I have signed up for, and I have let some other people know that I have this goal. Every day is not the perfect day for me, and every day in a long marathon training block is not gonna be a day I want to get up and run, but having that motivation of having signed up for a race ultimately helps me get up out of bed and do what I need to do on that day. The next one is just improved overall health.
Put that cookie down now!
I think running is one of these hobbies that you can have for the rest of your life if you do it properly. And there's just no argument against if you're running regularly, if you're putting the time in, if you're training for actual events, that's going to improve your overall health. Yes, you have to be careful, and yes, you could argue that some folks are more injury prone, and if you push things too hard, that's not necessarily going to be the best possible thing for you. But overall, training and racing different running events is going to improve your overall health. And next in this category is confidence. I have so much more confidence. I don't really know how to explain it. Should that be the case? Should I have been confident before I could run at a decent pace, 26.2 miles? Probably, but for whatever reason, after I've run that marathon, I just have more confidence in everything that I do, not just in future races, but just in all the other things, as a teacher, as a parent, as a member of my community. When the opportunity arises, I just have more confidence in the different things that I do day to day. And the last one for you in this category is this is truly a test of your fitness. Now, when I am out there training, I like to think that I push myself as hard as I can, but it is nothing like running an actual race. And if you're trying to set benchmarks, if you're trying to set goals, if you're trying to see where you actually are, races are really one of the opportunities where you really get to do this. You're not trying to push yourself, you're not trying to self-motivate yourself, you've got an actual race on the line. So generally, most people, me included, we push just a little bit harder on race day than we do in any other of our training sessions. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. My name is Matt, and this is What Matters to Matt. And ultimately, what matters to me most is my family. I will see you guys in the next video.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.